Hello everyone, welcome to the chat. How do you like my hair? I have too much of it to actually have it not go everywhere, so here I am like Naruto or some shit. Anyhow, it's keeping me cool, so that's what we want out of this. I've tried about 100 times to set up in a different spot because I thought, this is more of an interview type video, but that didn't work out, so we're back in the normal space. So, today we're going to actually talk about how I met my gods, and each video is going to be on a different one, so there'll be at least 3 of these, and I figured we'd just go in order of which ones and who I met first and how. So, before I get into that, I'm going to actually show you this really sick knife that my boyfriend bought me. And this is actual rattlesnake skin. And I've been trying to sharpen it because it did not come sharpened. It was kind of dull. It's still kind of dull. But I have not had an actual athame ever since I started. So actually that part's pretty sharp down there. But I thought that I could unsheath this and use it as an actual athame because I've needed one for a long time. And that leads me into this discussion. So, last year, around Samhain, I had been struggling for over a year before then on finding deities to work with. And I had tried and failed to connect with some, as I assume a lot of people do. And I was watching a lot of different witches saying, you don't need a personified deity to work with, you don't need a matron and patron, you'll be fine without it. And despite all that, I really, really wanted one. And I wanted a matron and patron, and I wanted to set up my altar accordingly. Even though I don't cast circle or put the cup and the athame and the so-and-so on my altar, I still wanted the matron and patron aspect. So I had been trying and failing to connect to a matron and patron for nearly a year. And it was right around Samhain last year that I met Hades. And I met him, I guess, technically in a dream the first time. And I know that gods shapeshift a lot, so it's more of an overall feeling if you see something and you're like, well, that doesn't look like my idea of so-and-so, but you're just going to have the intuition and feel that it is this person. So, he looked very, let's see, what is the word? Not stereotypically like in movies and whatnot, you know, with the really long beard. Honestly, he almost never has a beard when I talk to him. And that changes a lot too, because almost every time it's different. And I think that's really cool, honestly. Because if you get to personalize your outward appearance, your avatar, that much, I think that's really, really awesome. Anyhow, so I met him in a dream, and he was kind of leading me through this foggy place. And the dream was very short, but I woke up and I still had that feeling. And there's a lot of dreams that I've had in my past of you wake up and you still feel whatever emotion it was that you had then. And this one was just a very calm, fatherly, solid place. And having come from a long history of not having that calm, fatherly, solid place in my life, it called to me, it connected with me a lot. So even after I woke up and I'm recalling the dream, and I'm like, wow, that was really profound. And so I was into Tumblr a lot at the time. And I'm not sure if it was before or after that I had been kind of scrolling through looking at the different correspondences of different gods, and I kind of stumbled upon this Hades page. I was like, well, that's unusual. And I watched a lot of Shadow Harvest, so she works with Persephone. And I had tried that too. And kind of the opposite of what she says is where Persephone is, oh gosh, that sounded weird. Persephone was her main one and kind of just came to her, and she never really talked to Hades a lot. It's kind of the same as to where Hades came to me and I never really talked to Persephone a lot until later. So, as soon as I started looking up all this stuff on Hades, that feeling, just the overwhelming same feeling that I had in my dream, just came back to me. And I was like, no, this has got to be it. And then I just started actually having conversations with him, and he came right out to me. A lot of people have harder times getting deities to talk to them, as I had with others that I tried to work with before then. And it was kind of just a blank wall, or they would kind of be a little lukewarm and say like, hi, you're not supposed to be here. I'm not here to work with you. And this was the first time that they had actually said, yes, I am here. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. And I kind of dedicated my entire Samhain time frame to working and learning about Hades. And I think he came to me another time in a dream. And I know that, they kind of expect that you're finding your deity story to be like, oh, I was just walking so, and then I saw this person that said blah, blah, blah to me, or I had an epiphany and all this light came down, and it's not really like that, unfortunately. I mean, sometimes, maybe, but not in my experience. But that's okay, because you also know what's going on. It doesn't have to be so drastic or overwhelming. So, Samhain is very special to me because that's when I met Hades, and it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary of that. And I feel a little bad because I've kind of gotten a little... It's been hard to kind of work with my deities lately just because of everything that I'm going through. And I used to be very connected and very with them all the time. And I kind of haven't been doing that lately. So I'm trying to get back into it, especially with Hades, because I don't know. I'm not going to say that he's always stoic and always just stone cold and judgmental. That's not the case. He has a very specific kind of humor, I guess. It's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's not sadistic, it's just kind of dry, I guess, a dry sense of humor. And I don't remember what the instance was, but he was laughing at something one time when I tried to do something. I don't remember what it was. Anyhow, and I think I have kind of a separate little box for every deity that I work with, and he kind of fits into he is very definitely my patron deity. He's very fatherly. And when I visit the underworld, I go down there as a teenage kid would go down there to visit their probably estranged father if your parents are separated. It's just the feeling I get from it. And when I go down there, it's like walking into your dad's house if your parents are separated and you're just like, hey, but you're a teenager and you got past the I hate my parents stage and now you're just like cool with them. But Hades is a very cool dad. Like, I don't know. He always is playing music. He really likes music. I have an entire playlist dedicated to Hades. And it's not all like dark and gloom, because I communicate with him saying, hey, do you like this kind of music, so-and-so? He likes a lot of, kind of, now I'm not going to say slow jazz, but a lot of that nicer, flowy stuff that's not all death metal. He really enjoys the death metal, but that's off the point. So that's the relationship that I have with him. He is basically just that, just my patron. And I'm going to actually use this as his symbol, or one of his symbols, because early on he told me that he'd really like an athame, specifically for his altar, and since I have different deity altars, I try to find specific things for every deity that I work with. So that's going up there. And I'm actually really glad that I have it now, because I have been waiting and waiting to get one. And I haven't really found one yet, so thanks. He's such a sweet He buys me things once in a while. But this was really sweet. So I just want to tell you that I like it, even if I don't seem like I say those things very often. So that was how I met and worked with Hades. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you have a similar experience, please let me know. I'm always trying to make friends with people who also work with my gods. It's kind of a nice bonding experience to meet those people. So I would really enjoy meeting up with a couple of you guys. Oh my god, I can't talk today. Meeting up with a couple of you guys. Just kind of talking about experiences. Oh, the other thing is that probably 2 months ago, I was having a little bit of a disconnect going down to the underworld and just walking right in to the throne room. And one of these times I'm just like having a really hard time, and I'm like, what is going on? And I wasn't talking to Hades at all. And then instead, Persephone came out. And I can very much understand all of people's ideas of her, because she matches a lot of their descriptions. It's like right away you know she is the powerful feminine wife figure, the don't screw around with my husband kind of person. And I'm like, absolutely not. That's not the relationship that I have with Hades. I'm not gonna do that. I value people too much, and I really hate cheaters. And I really hate people who say they're going to be loyal and aren't. So I'm like, absolutely not. Persephone, you have nothing to worry about. And then since then, she's kind of been a little more chill. Like I say, I still view it as kind of the stepmom thing, where she's like, I don't know you that well. I don't really like you. And then eventually she's like, you're okay, I guess. I guess you're okay. So we're still working on that. And I kind of work with them together now, not all the time, but I definitely acknowledge that Persephone is there. And she keeps sending me things like this, just out of the middle of nowhere. I'll be like, hey, that's dark and also flowery. Yo, Mama Persephone. But she's not any one of my main deities. She's just, I also talk to her. Just off to the side, I guess. She's there. She's cool. She's chill. Anyhow, I think I will do Selene next, because these are in order of meeting. So get ready for that probably tomorrow. And we can have a little talk about how I met Selene. I kind of like these chats. They're pretty chill and laid back. I like to talk about myself, so what could be better? Anyhow, I hope you guys are not dying in this 106-degree weather. I will see you all at a later time. Blessed be, babes.